What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com, and I'm really excited to be diving into today's topic with you because we're going to be talking all about meditation and all the benefits on how it can improve your health. Let's dive in. Before we get started, let me just say this. Please be open-minded, okay? I'm going to be sharing with you guys some amazing benefits of, meditation, how it can improve your overall health, but hear me out. When most people think about meditation, they think about like the Buddhist monk and like these people saying these mantras, and it can become overwhelming and kind of like intimidating, honestly, where it just seems weird and awkward. My intentions is to make this very simple for you to understand what meditation really means and, most importantly, how to use it to improve your overall health. This is going to be the overview for today's topic. We're going to be first and foremost talking about the importance of meditation because I need you to understand it's just like anything, right? If you realize that if you're eating more protein, it's going to help you speed up your metabolism, lose more body fat, the protein, right? The protein consumption becomes a priority to you. Why? Because you know it's going to help you lose more body fat. If let's say, getting more sleep in, right? You can hear that it's going to better aid in recovery and help increase the chances of your, natural testosterone increasing by up to 20% just by sleeping more and helping you lose more body fat. What happens, right? You decide to sleep more because it becomes a priority. Well, just like anything, right? Whether it's a physical habit, just like what we talked about, or some of these mindset habits, it needs to be a priority to you because that's how you're going to better aid in creating these habits. But most importantly, it needs to be something that you need to be aware of. It's the awareness effect. That's kind of like what changes somebody's mindset because it's a whole different meaning to them, a whole different perspective. And as we dive into today's episode, hopefully you get a whole different outlook on meditation. And then lastly, for you, where to start, how to have success, and how to do it in a way where it helps you more than anything. I don't want it to feel weird or awkward or like you're doing something wrong because you're just meditating. And that's why, once again, I want to give you a different perspective shift when it comes to all this. And once again, how it can dramatically improve your overall health. So first off, what is meditation? I found this image online and I actually like it a lot, where it says meditation isn't trying to stop your thoughts. Instead, it is learning the art of beginning again. And we're going to do more of a deep dive once again as we progress into the bigger picture of meditation. But for example, what is meditation? Like if we had to break that down very simple, it is just you are getting one with yourself and you're getting to a state of the present moment. Honestly, this is where you are focused with your breath, you're focused with your thoughts, and you're not worried about the future. You're not worried about the past. So much so that like all of the stress that typically occurs within ourselves is because of our minds. And it's typically because we're worried about something. It's kind of how we're kind of wired, So it's like if something's in the future that hasn't happened yet, we're trying to predict some kind of outcome or future, and especially if it's something that we're fearful of and it hasn't even happened yet, it's like, our thoughts, right, eventually start to hurt us because now we're worried, we're stressed, maybe we're not sleeping the best. And it's similar to the past as well. Maybe if you have regrets or who knows, you're just living in the, rear view mirror, so to speak, instead of the windshield in front of you. So the image indicates that you should first start focusing on your breath. And then when you notice yourself starting to get distracted, and keep this in mind, right? Especially if you're a beginner when it comes to meditating, you will get distracted. You will have so many different thoughts going on in your head. It's going to be hard at first. You're going to feel a little bit discouraged. And that's why, the importance of, practicing and having some grace, and not being too hard on yourself. If you don't get it in a few, short days or a few short weeks, it takes time, But when you get it down, like I said, there's some dramatic, health and benefits that we're going to go over next. But when you start noticing these thoughts, just try your best to let go. Don't just block them out or say, oh, I can't be thinking about that. It's like, no, take awareness that, hey, it's a thought, but then let it pass. That's all. Just let it go. And one way to really kind of help you out when it comes to helping those thoughts pass is when you notice yourself getting distracted, just continue to focus on your breath. That is the single handle best way to meditate and get into a better relaxation state within yourself is by focusing on your breath. And personally, how I like to do it is just I'll breathe in through my nose anywhere from 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds. And then I'll hold it. I'll pause typically from 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds. And then a long, right, breath coming out through my mouth this time. And once again, I'm breathing out 4, 5, 6 seconds, typically within that range. And I just continue to do that. I try my best to honestly get at least 10 breaths. Okay, 10 breaths. That's it. That's when I know I'm in a really good state of being relaxed for myself. Now, keep this in mind. Sometimes I'll get to maybe 2 breaths, right? Sometimes I'll get to 3, 4. But regardless, somewhere during that duration of going to the 10 breaths, I'm getting all these thoughts, right? All these random thoughts. And I've been meditating for years. Once I found out about the benefits of meditation, I was hooked. And I immediately started, trying to get into it. And it was a very, very much of a struggle at first, honestly. Somebody that I have all these random thoughts just constantly popping in and out. It's tough. And still to this day, I get these random thoughts. But it's okay, right? You just, once again, you are cautious of that. You're aware of those thoughts, and that's it. Don't try to, once again, stop those thoughts from happening. It's just like, hey, observe them and let them pass. And then try your best to just get right back to your breath and just focus on that. And if you can accomplish, let's say, 10 breaths, then good. You know that you're in a more relaxed state. And that's what we truly want when it comes to meditation. Because remember, it's not about closing your eyes and focusing on this and doing this. And sure, right, there are different forms of meditation that are helpful and beneficial. And we will get to those here in a little bit. But remember, the overall picture on how meditation works is to not get focused on the future, to not get focused on the past. Instead, get one with ourselves, focus on our breath, and mainly that present moment. I really like this quote a lot that explains meditation. And it says, the goal of meditation isn't to control your thoughts, it's to stop letting them control you. And honestly, let that sink in. Let me repeat that one more time because that is such a golden nugget. The goal of meditation isn't to control your thoughts, it's to stop letting them control you. And this is why practicing meditation is so powerful. Because how many times do you constantly play these mind games within yourself? Oh, you like there's this and this and this, and you have all these options, and you're constantly like a worrywart, right? You're worried about this, and there's this option, this. All these different, thoughts that are controlling your head. Well, you know what else they're controlling? Typically your emotions, right? Your behaviors as well. And typically that leads to, when we're not in a state of control, stress. Lots of stress. And hey, since we're talking all about the benefits of meditation and how it improves your overall health, we first need to talk about stress, right? What does stress do within the body? Well, once again, when you're underneath a lot of stress, you're going to be spiking your cortisol level, which is your cortisol, your body's natural stress hormone. This is when you're going to get obviously issues with your metabolism, depression, high blood pressure, right? Chronic fatigue, affecting your sleep, or you're not sleeping the best, migraines, tunnel vision, acid reflux, hostility, hunger, arthritis, weakening your immune system. All of this is because of stress. So you can see here that a lot of the stress, once again, starts from up here in our own minds. And if we can learn how to control those thoughts, odds are we can learn how to control some of our stress as well. Take a look at some of these benefits on meditation. So for starters, anxiety. Remember, typically we're so worried and caught up with all these different, thoughts in our head, typically about like the future or typically about the past or worried about other people and all these different circumstances and events. Remember, like a lot of stress comes from stuff on social media that we see, stuff on the news that we see, wars, violence, recessions, everything like that. Guess what? It's just like some things may affect us, other things may not affect us, but when we're seeing it, it always affects us. And that's why meditation is great for helping us just get again, right? Peace. Peace within ourselves. Not worrying about the future, not worrying about the past. It also promotes emotional well-being. For most guys out there, they struggle big time with their emotions. And I always say it like this, the guys that have a hard time venting or getting stuff off their chest or getting one with their emotions, eventually something's going to happen, right? Maybe it's some kind of stress at home or stress at work, regardless, right? Something's going to be that little straw that breaks the camel's back. And that's where the effect of taking a little Mentos and dropping into a Coca-Cola bottle, it explodes, it happens. And that's that. That's what happens with guys. They don't know how to clean out the crap inside of them. And so what happens is, right, they let all this stress just build upon them, build upon them, build upon them. All that Coca-Cola. And then one little thing happens, boom, drops the Mentos in, explodes. It's the straw that breaks the camel's back. And focusing on meditation can really help you get in control of your emotional well-being. It also lengthens your attention span, which is huge. Because why? Well, for starters, knowledge is power, right? The more you learn, the more you earn. Have you ever heard that? We talk about, some of the mindset habits at Heartletics, and obviously acquiring more knowledge is one of them. And if meditation can help you lengthen your attention span, that's more added knowledge onto your plate. That's a great thing. It obviously improves your overall sleep as well. And you guys should know, right, the importance of sleep. I say it all the time. Somebody could be so dialed in with their nutrition, with their training, doing all the right things, but guess what? If they're not sleeping, if they're, not prioritizing that, let's say they got 5 hours of sleep, they could be doing all the right things, right? Remember, with the nutrition, the training, but that sleep, if they don't have that under control, they're not going to see the results they truly want because they're not recovering their body properly. And guess what? Here are even more benefits of meditation. It lowers your blood pressure. Wow, what are the odds of that? Hey, just sitting there, closing our eyes, focusing on our breath could help us lower our blood pressure. I wonder for the individuals that struggle with having high blood pressure and are maybe taking forms of medication for them, I wonder if this could improve their lives. Wonder. I'm telling you guys, there's so many benefits to meditation, it's not even funny. It helps also with your digestive system. It even helps with aiding and absorbing more nutrients. It relaxes your nervous system. It relieves, right, any kind of muscle tension. It helps with, just migraines and headaches. Once again, those are areas that are typically caused because of high stress. So meditation can help relieve those headaches and migraines. Helps with, obviously, improvements with sleep. It frees the mind from self-doubt and internal chatter. I love that. How many times do you, right, are you held back, right, from the thoughts of your head, saying, oh, I can't do that, right? Maybe the self-limiting beliefs. Guess what? Practicing meditation can maybe help improve with your overall confidence as well. It releases fears, reduces anxiety, improves depression. I know a lot of people that struggle with this up here, right? Their mindset. A lot of mental health problems where guys lack confidence, they don't believe in themselves. And they start to get into the state of depression because maybe they eat bad, they don't like the way they look, they don't like the way they feel like they're kind of just like stuck in this rut. Almost like it's Groundhog's Day each and every day. They're kind of just like a leaf floating within the wind. And it's like meditation can really help motivate you when it comes to just giving you that sense of power back. That once again, by you just sitting there, getting in control of your thoughts so your thoughts don't control you, you start to build a little bit more willpower within yourself. You start to build a little bit more confidence within yourself. you start to take control over yourself again. So now let's go into some ways on how to meditate. And honestly, we will go into different forms of meditation, but this right here is the easiest way for anybody looking to just get started. You find a comfortable position, right? I'm not saying you need to cross your legs. I'm not saying you need to sit down. I'm not saying you need to stand up. I'm not saying you need to lay down. Find a comfortable position. Remember, just like anything that we go over at Heartletics, it's not a one-size-fits-all anything, right? Whether it's a physical habit or whether it's a mindset habit, you got to figure out what works best for you. So, hey, find a comfortable position that works best for you. And then close your eyes. Get into connection with your breath, as I mentioned before. Feel the expansion, right, of the inhale. So once again, big breath in and then breathe out. Let go on the exhale. So breathe in through your nose, hold it, breathe out through your mouth. Remember, anywhere from 4 to 5 seconds on the inhale, 4 to 5 seconds on the hold, 4 to 5 seconds on the release coming out of your mouth. And then here's the thing. Remember, notice when you are getting distracted. So if you start getting all these random thoughts going in your head, it's okay. Don't get all upset and just stop meditating. No, embrace it. Notice it. Take awareness of it. Because remember, you are trying to get in control over your thoughts once and for all. So it's like, take ownership of that, right? And notice that. Take control, right? It's like, okay, cool, right? Let's not put a hold to it. It's just like, be aware, be mindful of it. And then just get right back into tune with your breath. And constantly do that over and over and over again. And for starters, set an alarm. Start with 5 minutes. Anybody has 5 minutes, right? During this 5 minutes is turn off all distractions. Right? We're going to go into some specifics here on, different types of meditation, but turn off all distractions. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Start off small. Start off with just like this, and you're going to be on the right track to having success at getting down meditation so you can then start to receive some of all those amazing health benefits. But keep in mind, during those 5 minutes, you're focused on this. You're not going to stop, right? Let's say 2 minutes in or 3 minutes in. No. You said you're going to do this. It's a priority to you, so commit to it. And maybe the first week, do 5 minutes. The second week, do 10 minutes. The third week, do 15. You can get all the way to, I typically meditate anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes a day. I do it first thing in the morning, and that's it. It's off my plate. I do it before I leave the house, before I go to the gym. And I've been doing it for years, and I love it. It works for me. And once again, at times, I still get all these random thoughts, but I just focus on this, 8-step, right? 8 steps. When you focus on this, you'll get it down. It becomes so much easier. Just as long as you don't quit, as long as you don't throw in the white towel, as long as you don't give up. Remember Napoleon Hill in the book Outwitting the Devil? Repetition is the mother of all learning. So keep that in mind. Now there's so many different forms and types of meditations that you can find online. There's guided meditations, there's yoga class meditations, the list goes on and on. What we typically find to be like the best ones for our members at Heartletics, where they can easily get into a more meditated, state of mind and receive some of those benefits that we talked about, the overall health benefits, is by mainly just focusing on these 2 different types of meditations, right? So the focus attention meditation, I like this one because it is one that I personally do every single morning. And this is where I just focus on, what is the goal, a specific, right? What am I trying to achieve? And so what it does, it kind of helps me set the intention for the day. Meaning like, hey, when I go to the gym, am I actually going to show up and make sure I'm my best? Hey, when I come to work, am I actually going to show up and become my best, right? Or am I just kind of going to go through the motions? And so when I start off in the morning with meditation, right, I like focusing on, what is the goal? What am I striving for? Because it keeps me in alignment, keeps me in check. Saying to myself, hey, there's a reason why I'm showing up today to become the best version of myself, because I'm trying to get to this goal. And this is actually something good for people that have, let's say, active minds like myself. Because once again, even though you're focused on a set outcome, you're going to still be getting all these different thoughts in your head, regardless, right? But when you're focused on something that is a big priority to you, right? Maybe that's that goal outcome that you want, right? Whatever it is, when you're focused on it, it makes it very easy to say, okay, hey, when I'm having these random thoughts about like, what should I get for lunch today? And, this thing that happened over the weekend, regardless or whatever, right? I get all these random thoughts. It makes it so much easier to focus also in getting back, right, to your breath work and then getting your state back of the mind to the goal because it's a priority to you. So I really like the focused attention meditation. But then also, right, the more open, monitoring one, the relaxed one, this is great as well. I personally like to go for a lot of what's called gratitude walks, where I'll just put in binaural beats and I'll just go for a walk, typically at the park. And there's benches there half the time where I'll just sit down, I'll just close my eyes, and I'll try my best to not focus on anything. Honestly, I'll just focus on my breath. So there's not a goal that I'm focusing on, right? I'm not visualizing my goals like I am with the focused attention meditation. For this one, it's more about I would say more gratefulness, honestly, where I try my best to get in a more peaceful state of mind, where I'm once again just focusing on my breath work. And once I get there, it's almost like a meditation, but also kind of like a prayer, where I'm almost just very grateful, very thankful, where I am with my life, where I am with my health, where I am with my career, where I am with my family. And it just, once again, it does something to you where you can focus, and it doesn't have to be long at all, right? Maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes here and there. When you can focus on doing these types of meditations, it does something to you. Obviously the focused attention one helps with setting the intention for the day, right? Or just keeping you back on track where, hey, I'm spending some time where I'm focusing, putting my mindset on my goals, right? Visualizing that, getting that outcome, right? And focusing on that, spending some time, right? Training my mindset saying, this is what we want. Let's go, And then also at the same time with the open monitoring, meditation, this is where I'm focusing a lot, once again, on just gratitude, where I'm not focusing on the outcome. I'm focusing on maybe just a reflection also of, man, I'm so happy where I am right now in my life because of everything that I had to get over with from the past, and just, taking that time to just stay grounded to the present, And once again, it helps so much. Both forms of meditation are great. And once again, if you're somebody that, let's say, you never really meditated before, the thing that you need to understand is have some grace with yourself, because it's a practice, and just like anything in life, the more you practice, you will get better at. But if you remember the steps, right, about the breath work and, making sure that you're open-minded and keeping in mind, right, that at the end of the day, don't do this to receive something, I think that's a big importance to all this when it comes to the mindset habits here. It's don't say, oh, I'm going to do this to, receive something. Do this more because it just helps you feel better. Getting one at your emotional state, your well-being, and obviously after learning about some of these health benefits from today, you'll really start to play a practice into meditation, so that way it can help maybe lower those stress levels and just improve in your overall health and fitness journey. So here's just a quick little recap. Obviously, the importance of meditation. And just remember, it's more so of a practice to really help you take control over your thoughts again. So that way your thoughts don't control you, because that's what's going to stress you out. Your mindset, right? If you're not taking ownership of that, if you're not taking control and training this, it's going to take control over you. And sometimes that, your thoughts, that's what leads to a lot of the stress. We play these mind games with ourselves. Then we went over how meditation works. Remember, your breath work. Breathe in through your nose, 4 to 5, 6 seconds, around there, Hold it 4 to 7, 8 seconds. Breathe out 4 to 7, 8 seconds. Find something that works for you, but get into a comfortable state. Focus on the breath. If you're getting distractions, it's okay, right? Once again, you just get right back to the breath. And then lastly, where to start when it comes to meditation. If that's something that you want to start practicing, well, hey, you have focused meditation, and then you have the, open monitoring meditation. And start with, one or the other, or try both. Figure out what works best with you, but have some patience for yourself. Have some grace if you find yourself, struggling, and start off small. 5 minutes a day for one whole week, and then progress. 10 minutes a day, and then progress 15 minutes a day. And the name of the game for that is, once again, get all the distractions right. Turn off, let's say, the TV, the phone, everything like that. Maybe put in some binaural beats where there's no lyrics, and it's just maybe like lo-fi beats where it's just a nice little melody, and just focus on the breath. That's it. But regardless, be open-minded. You want to know why? Because there's so many amazing health benefits to just having a form of meditation that helps you relieve some of that stress. So hopefully you guys got some value from today's episode and learn a thing or two about all the amazing benefits of meditation and how it can improve your overall health. As always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with the Heartletics Podcast, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scouts.